And let's start with my face. I'm gonna do a live editing of Nell's face, Nell's picture. So I already did a what do you call this, grayish and orange style of editing, which already been posted. Isa to sa mga pictures ng Conejo, which is 10th year anniversary. Congrats, guys. So there's that. Okay, to start things off, as you can see here, I'm using my 50 mm lens, which is good for portraiture because it's they often say na closest to what the human eyes can see. So it's either 35 mm or 50 mm. And of course, I'm using the 1.8 STM. It's the cheapest one. That's why I have one. And it's the first lens that I had. Of course, compared to this one, I'm using my zoom lens. This is more on landscape. Technically, I'm more into landscape compared to portraiture kasi again, portraiture is mahirap. You need to abide by the skin tone. It's usually orange, and of course for the red it's going to be the lips. So there's that. That's why I stick to landscape. One good example for landscape is kunyari, you have a tree, right? It's usually green. What you can do there is you can stretch it or move the hue to orange to make it more autumn. You cannot do that with skin tone. Di mo naman pwedeng gawin siyang from orange to blue. So, avatar ang lalabas niyan. Okay. To start things off, as you can see, this is how I edit my pictures or raw to be exact. I always use raw when it comes to editing because you can stretch it to either, I don't know, kanto-kanto ng hue, luminance, or saturation, right? But again, this is different. I'm using portraiture. First things first, as you can see on the upper right, we do have the histogram, which is everything on the left side. What it means is mostly medyo more on the dark shadows. As you can see, blacks, shadows. So we need to correct that first. But before we do anything else, or before we jump into the white balance and the tone, we need to use the profile correction first. So what this does is check what kind of lens that you're using. So yung details ng picture mo when it comes to taking raw is it's gonna take the metadata of the actual picture that has been um what do you call this? Yung pagkakakuha niya sa camera. So by default, of course, the metadata itself will save it, and I'm using the 50 mm. So napansin nyo dito yung vignetting na wala. So I'm gonna turn this off again. By default, this is straight out of camera. If you don't do anything, if you don't correct the profile, which is again, it's gonna get the metadata of the lens itself, which I'm using, which is 50 mm. Meron tayong heavy vignetting, and of course, it's not gonna be straight. So once I click this, ang mangyayari dyan, it's gonna straighten up the picture. So I'm gonna click this. There. It's gonna straighten up the edges, and of course removing the vignetting. So by default, I think this is already good. But yeah, when you look at the histogram again, hindi siya not properly exposed. So there's that. What I'm going to do next is I'm gonna hold shift and then double click on the temperature. So para makuha niyo tamang temperature. So it's gonna negate most of the tungsten light when it comes to street light because we're under the mercy of the street light. So I'm gonna hold on shift and then double click on the temperature. So medyo bluish siya. Next is the tint. If it's gonna be magenta or more on the green, by default nakuha niya plus 16, right? But we need to correct this. So again, I'm going to hold on shift, double click on the tint. So ayan, medyo okay na siya. But we're not gonna stop there. Of course, exposure, we need to correct it. Right exposure for this one, even though I'm already using ISO 3200. Diba? The more the higher ISO you use, the more noise your picture will introduce. I mean, the more noise it will have. Again, making everything automatic first. Double click on the exposure. So masyado siya maliwanag. Contrast. Same goes for highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. Ayan, so mapapansin nyo dito, meron na siyang noise, no? I can remove that, but um, I wanna, I'm gonna figure that out later pa. It's kinda bright for me, so I'm gonna pull down the highlights again. But other than that, I think medyo okay na when it comes to exposure kasi papansin nyo, di ba? I'm going for a balanced exposure here. I mean, there's no perfect exposure. I just wanted to make sure that everything's in the middle for this picture alone, okay? So that's that. I don't want to touch the texture, clarity, dehaze, vibrance, and saturation, so I want to leave it as is. What I'm going to introduce next is I'm gonna add a medium contrast to give it more punch. So, ayan, papansin nyo, medyo dark, diba? So, I'm going to remove it. Nawala, ayan, medyo parang somewhat flat. But, if I use medium contrast, kakaroon siya ng konting punch. There you go. I don't want to use high contrast because it's already a dark scene. So, there's that. For saturation. So, technically, this is what I saw on the actual event itself. So, medyo yun nga, meron tayong orange na light and a white fluorescent light at the back kung saan nakalagay yung mga food. So, There's that. Next is, okay, so dito na papasok yung editing part ko. Orange, masyado saturated yung orange. I'm gonna bring this down like so. I want it to have definitely an orange cast, but not that heavy. Next is, I don't want to touch the red because that's gonna be the lips. Let's check. So, pumupula ba yung lips ni Nell? Ayan, nawawala yung nagiging dark yung lips ni Nell. And then, konti lang. Dagdag na tayo ng orange. And the rest, I wanna retain just the orange, the red, and the blue. So, everything I'm gonna bring the saturation down. Even the aqua. I think we only have one aqua here. So, yeah. I don't want it to have any green here. So, there's that. Now, the look that I'm going for is the orange and teal. So, yun yung somewhat, I don't know if it's still in. What I did on the actual picture na binigay ko kay baby is I killed the blue. So, yan yun. I went for that look, yung gray and orange. No, I don't want any yellow. So, yeah. Ito yung pinaka-output ng Kainel na ginawa kong picture. But what I wanna do now is make it somewhat orange and teal. So how do I do that? Of course, we need to reset blue first. The way you can do it is go to you. Now, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na you can pull green to orange when you want it to be summer to autumn. So there's that. But here in this picture, I wanted to have an orange and teal look. So I think we already have the orange. The only thing that we're missing here is the teal. So how do we do that? I'm going to pull the blue here into the teal color. So ayan. Now, the reason most of the people here are doing it's because, of course, there are two types of contrast. The first one is, of course, the highlights, the shadows, the whites, the blacks. You can do that contrast dun sa mismong color niya. I mean, sa more in the grayish, black, and white, diba? Yun yung isang contrast part. Now, how do you do a contrast when it comes to colors? So, when you look at the color wheel, which I don't have one right now, opposite yung orange and teal. The reason why it's popular is, again, complexity ng tao is orange. Now, the way to to highlight the skin color is usually more on the background. They make it teal or the shirt itself. Or, in our example, I'm moving the color from blue to teal. So as you can see here, it's highlighting the skin tone of Nell compared to if we do an orange cap, an orange shirt, definitely hindi ma-highlight yung um, fez ni Nell. So ayan. So already have this. Diba? Medyo maganda siya. And of course, it's up to you. Well, it's up to me if I want to output this as orange and teal or black and white. Pwede rin to sa black and white eh. Yeah. But I'm going for a colored what do you call this? Colored output. And of course, papansin nyo, medyo distracting kung sino man to. I forgot who this is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a what do you call this? Local adjustment. What I'm going to do is remove the color of this one. So I'm going. No, I'm not talking to Siri. The hell? So ayan. I'm gonna press O. Show selected mask overlay. So I'll see kung ano yung mga nababrush ko. So I'm gonna start off painting the shirt. And what's happening? Painting the shirt. And let's wait for it to load. I don't know what's happening to my computer. Okay. Liitan natin para mas more concentrated. Let's just check. And oh my god. This is so slow. Okay, let's just wait for this to load. Okay, I'm just gonna remove this show selected mask. And I'm gonna brush. It's loading. I don't know. Why is it loading? Then show it again. Let's see kung ano na yung mga na brush ko. Anyway, let's just leave it like that. I'm gonna remove the show selected mask overlay so I want it so I can see what's gonna happen if I change things or change color or saturation. So and what I'm going to do is desaturate this too. Though hindi pa siya ganun ka what do you call this? Ka desaturated. I don't know what's happening. Feather size, so density. I really want to remove this. I can import this to Photoshop, but yeah, I'm just gonna focus in Lightroom instead. I really don't know if it's really affecting the picture, but yeah. Let's try that. Or I can cut this. That's the fastest way. But yeah, that's about it. What else? Yeah, I think this is the output that I'm going for. L for the finished product. And then, what's this? Backslash from before and after. I don't know which one is better, but I'm going for this one. Yeah, maybe it's too saturated. Let's bring down this exposure para magkaroon ng more drama in it. Maybe the teal is too saturated. I don't know. And the orange. But yeah, that's the look I'm going for. Thanks, Nell. If you want the picture nila, ping me. PM me. Thanks. Bye.